Okay, no. All right, let's see here. Okay, I think we're live, but I'm gonna wait for confirmation from everyone out there. While we're waiting for confirmation, I'm gonna remind everyone to go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list. That's how. Okay, wait a second.
I think this is funny. I'm waiting to go live with Roy on Brownells and a Midway ad popping up
Oh
before.
yeah. Ooh, the competition's all over.
Awkward.
So, okay, let me start this again. All right, so listen, if you guys could see us out there, help us out. Smash the thumbs up, share this, because YouTube is actually still ghosting us, right? That's their program. That's what they're doing. So everyone out there, make sure you share it and get it out to folks so that they know that we're actually live here, because I think that YouTube has a policy to not let us go live and notify everyone. Other than that, I want to remind everyone to go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list. That's where you can find out all the different ways to support us. You can find out about our merch. All the good links are there. Lola has deals that she posts on there, daily deals, etc. So that's that. Okay, let's see. I think we're good to go. You all know what you need to do right now. Jazz hands, everyone. Come on, jazz hands. Come on, American Gun Chick. Let's see the jazz hands. Ooh, there you go.
Jazz hands.
All right. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is Free For All Monday, episode 536 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange. And joining us tonight, we have Roy from Brownells. Boom, there we go. Oh, Roy from Brownells. Yeah, Walter, time to fly the flag. Okay. Is mine even the right? No.
Yes.
Mine's not the right. Mine's not the right way up. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. The pirate flag of Brownells is waving.
Hearty, stand by to wait back sail, lady.
Okay, we've got Roy from Brownells.
Shamog, Walter. There you go.
Yeah. Roy's going to give us an update on what's going on with Brownells. We're going to talk about Homeland Security actually saying that the firearms industry is an essential business. We'll get into that. We've got my friend Walter Keller from Safety Harbor Firearms. Our special guest tonight, there she goes, American Gun Chick.
American Gun Chick, woo!
What's up, everyone? She's surviving the apocalypse. She's in an undisclosed bunker somewhere under a mountain.
That's right.
Yeah, right now in a safe location. American Gun Chick also joining us. What's up, Raquel?
What's up? Thanks for having me on here again.
Oh, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure. Always awesome to have you on. I think we'll have Roy here for the first hour, and then we'll get Babyface to come in and join us. All the folks out there, smash the thumbs ups if you please, if you can. We appreciate that. The show is brought to us by Walther Arms. Thanks to Walther for sponsoring the podcast here, helping keep the lights on, even in the apocalypse. We are here to entertain the people. I wish I had like 2 bottles so I could do, what is that thing? What is that movie? The Warriors, where they go, come out to play. I don't have 2 bottles here that I could clink together. My bottles are only plastic. I only have like plastic iced tea bottles, so we cannot do that. Let's see. How was everyone's weekend? I'm gonna start with the lovely lady, American Gun Chick. How was your weekend? What'd you get up to?
It was good. So right now I'm actually working on a music video, and I don't want to give too much away. But actually, I'm kind of working on an album. Like, I have 6 songs that I've actually made and sung and developed. But next week we should be releasing it. But I'm doing kind of I don't want to give too much away, so I don't want to say too much. But a really awesome, hilarious music video.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. I never got my invitation to be in the studio or to be on the album.
You were in the first music video, so there you go.
So is your genre hardcore gangster rap or more like Broadway show tunes?
Yo.
It's like a mixture of. It's like a master of all trades, or no, it's what is it called when you're good at a bunch of things but not great?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like a bunch. It's like country. I did one rap one. My first one was kind of like rap, but not hardcore rap. So it's like country and pop, and then maybe a love song.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Eclectic. It's eclectic.
Eclectic.
Yeah.
That's Lola's least favorite word in the whole world.
Eclectic.
Yeah, she doesn't like that word. It's always used on what is it, HGTV? They always use that word. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So, is this a PG album? Is it G rated? Is it not adult only?
No, I would say it's like PG-13. I don't know.
Okay.
But
PG.
some of it's kind of like some of the songs that I haven't started working on, like making the music video, is kind of like, I don't know, the government might get kind of mad.
Oh.
Let's just say that, you know?
Okay. You're dropping like Edward Snowden type secrets or something, huh?
Yeah, or just like, stuff like that.
Deep conspiracies.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. We're gonna try to get more info out of you on this here, so we'll try to get some exclusives from her. I don't know. We'll see how much we get out of American Gun Chick. Let's see. Let's go to the next lady, Walter Keller.
Oh, stop it.
What's up with you, Walter? How was your weekend?
My weekend was okay. I mean, I didn't do anything too exciting. I was at the shop working, doing stuff.
Okay. All right.
Trying to stay to myself. I had to go to Home Depot once.
Okay.
But
yeah.
But,
were they only letting so many people in the store, or you were able to go with their looting in Home Depot?
They weren't busy enough to be doing that. But they did have somebody sitting outside, and they did have like turnstile things set up, so they could, if it got that way, then you could queue up, as the British say.
Did they have those silly X's on the floor of where you're supposed to stand like a good little human? No. Oh.
I didn't see it. I mean, the cash register lady, I didn't go through the self checkout. I went through the normal thing, and she was a little standoffish, but I don't think she knew how to be standoffish. Because, when I showed up, she just couldn't be. She had to come and see me, so...
Okay.
I'm just smiling, being friendly and everything. Right. But, it was normal. It was, actually, you know what? I mean, aside from everything going on and how bad it is for some folks, it is so nice out driving around. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is just... It's, like, so peaceful out riding around in the car, you don't have to...
Yeah, the weather's been very nice. The weather has been very nice.
Yeah, we've had
in Florida.
We've had we've had, as I call it, Chamber of Commerce weather down here. So,
yeah, that's the calm before the storm. I think we got like maybe 2 months here, and then we get into hurricane season. Is it 2 months?
Yeah, but
maybe.
June 1st is start of hurricane season.
June 1st.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
June 1st.
Yeah.
And that runs through November. I think November 1st. I'm not mistaken.
So, one of those things is going to have to wipe out the other. Maybe we'll get a Category 10 right at the point where...
Quiet.
Okay, quiet. Let's go to Roy from Brownells. Roy, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on the show. What's going on with you?
Oh, just rocking and rolling. My weekend, I didn't do anything that special because here in Iowa, it's still cold.
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
it rained all Saturday.
It must have been, today it must have been 90 here. It felt like
90.
We got to like 59 degrees.
It's summertime.
It was interesting. Yeah, people were in the little subdivision I live in. People were starting to come out, like gophers or groundhogs.
Yeah.
People were kind of moving up and down the street.
Did they have shorts on?
Most of them, in fact, did have shorts. I mean, in Iowa, if it gets north of 45, folks put on shorts and flip flops. It was interesting. It's the first time. People had this reaction like, what's that big yellow thing in the sky? Oh, my God. Right. So any other weekend thing would be my son and I were building his first official AR.
Oh, nice.
And so we were making parts lists and trying to accumulate the various pieces, parts, and tools and pin punches and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Very good. So did you guys go into the store or...
Actually, I did make one trip into the store and then realized I forgot to buy a couple other pieces, parts I thought I had, and then it wound up we didn't have. So I had to go back. I'll have to go back again tomorrow. But yeah, the store has been pretty busy, the retail store. Of course, Brownells has a retail store, 7,000 square foot store attached to the main building. And that place, there's been a lot of folks buying guns.
Yeah.
A lot of folks.
Yeah. So the store is open all weekend or just Saturday?
Saturday and Sunday. The hours change sometimes. You'll have to check our website to see exactly when the hours are. It's still open, still going, especially with. What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
That's Walter. Walter's working on something over there.
Sounds like you're grinding a broad axe.
It was actually grinding on the back of a truck we bought. Actually.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, they say all you need for a reality show is sparks. If you've got sparks, then you've got you can make a reality show.
Yeah.
There's
this thing called the mute button, Walter.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
go ahead. Go ahead.
A lot of folks buying guns. As far as what's going on at Brownells, bigger than retail store in our warehouse facility, our ammo supplies have been hit very, very hard over about the last week and a half. We, of course, have lots more ammo on order, but I'm sure if you've seen in the news, everybody's trying to buy ammo. And so the entire gun industry is kind of caught a little bit, I would say, a little bit flat-footed for this coronavirus thing, because everybody was anticipating kind of a down year for 2020 or another flat year like 2019. And then this thing hit, and everybody in the world wants ammo. So all the companies are trying to ramp back up and try to get production going. But right now, the demand is exceeding the supply, especially in calibers like 5.56 or 9mm.
Okay. So you're all sold out of 5.56 9mm. What do you know? What calibers you guys do have in stock?
I would have to check the website, because I know we, for example, I had several folks ask me about the 9mm situation, and it was all gone. And then we had several thousand rounds of Aguila 9mm 124 grain show up, and that lasted like a day and a half. So I haven't shopped for 9mm on the website. The only way to really know would be to go to brownells.com and check it out. But I do know 9mm was out, and then a little bit more back in, and then as far as I know, out again, but I haven't checked in about a day and a half. So if we've gotten another truck in with another load of something, there might be some. Now, we do have some 22 long rifle. We do have some rimfire ammo. That's starting to dwindle a little bit, but it was still, the last time I checked about 2 days ago, we still had like 36 different SKUs of rimfire ammo in pretty good numbers. We still have quite a few guns, of course, magazines, triggers, pieces, parts, etc. But right now, if it's a popular ammo, there's good chance 5.56, 9mm, 308, 45 ACP, there's a good chance it might have been out of stock. Now, again, the last time, I'm the weirdo. I'm the gun guy. I'm the gun nut. For example, I know we had a good supply of 9.3 by 6.2 Mauser still in, because not a lot of folks are demanding for that. But if it's an off thing, and then last time I checked, I know we had quite a bit of like 6.5 Creedmoor still in stock too.
Okay. Couple of things here. Shooting Gallery, Annie gave us a couple of bucks. He says, "What's crack-a-lackin', everyone?" So there you go.
Hey.
I don't know what the official, like, what's crack-a-lacking answer actually is, other than, I don't know if there's like an actual answer.
Crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah.
I'd have to Google that.
Yeah, it's like what's up. So I'm guessing like the answer is what's up. That's what we do in New York. People say what's up, like what's up. So there you go.
Is that like?
Yeah,
Mecca hi, Mecca hiney ho, or whatever.
Yeah, there we go. That's a Hawaiian. That's Hawaiian. Mika lika heine, Mika heine ho.
Oh. I don't need any licking of the hiney here. No hiney licking going on.
That's another way to spread coronavirus, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how everyone got coronavirus.
Yeah, that's how it all started.
Stay away from the Pacific Rim. Oh dear.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be. Yeah.
Excuse me, I've got a.
Yeah. Okay, so Flying Rich says, "Can I get that 55-gallon drum of 5.56?" Do you still have those? Do you guys still have those big 55-gallon drums in stock?
I would literally have to check the website. In fact, I grab my phone here and try to do.
Okay, and you said you still have 22. I'm just, I would recommend to people to get 22 if you don't have it already. Try to keep 22, because a lot of times when ammo starts running out like this, they stop making 22 and they make all the other things, but 22 is the most fun and the cheapest to shoot. And if you don't have it, just like if you don't have it and you have the money and the prices are good, get yourself some 22. Remember, I gave you that warning. Have you guys upped prices at all?
Not really, no. In fact, I saw a website banner. We're actually starting a spring sale on certain things.
Okay.
I'm seeing we do have some 22. I see flat nose 22 LR rimfire ammo in stock. I'm seeing lots of others that were in stock like a day ago showing as out of stock. But we do have some in stock right now. I see 11 SKUs, looks like.
Okay. If Walter, if you or Brickell, if you have any questions here for Roy while we're here in regards to the store side of what's going on, feel free to ask. The big question I wanted to ask you, Roy, is how are you? I don't know if you're speaking officially for Brownells or not, but how are you guys looking at the news that came out of the Trump administration and Homeland Security declaring that the firearms industry as an essential business? Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I'm speaking officially for Brownells right at this instant on this particular subject. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of optimism and encouragement because of this, because there have been some states. In fact, I was looking at a headline just before I came on here. There are some states whose governors tried to shut down various companies and stores and other industry related activity. I saw where New Jersey's governor, with the threat of a lawsuit that was really bolstered by the DHS declaration of gun stores and retailers being essential businesses, backed off shutting down gun stores.
They want to shut down the state's NICS system.
Right. So nobody can buy a gun.
If they shut down the NICS, they shut down everything.
Yeah, you can't buy. Well, in Jersey, you have to. Do you have to? I think you have to get a NICS check to buy ammo, right?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
Does Jersey have a FOID card like Illinois does too?
Yeah, they've got some kind of weird stuff like that going on.
That turned on. It went to 10% or 20% on it.
Mm-hmm.
But Brownells has like 2,000 different companies whose stuff we sell, so we have a lot of different vendors, and some of those are in states that aren't as restrictive, and some are in states that are more restrictive. So the declaration from the DHS that gun and associated manufacturers and retailers are essential businesses can't help but help, because that means there's a key supplier in a restrictive state, they're still going to be able to manufacture and supply, and we're in this time of great demand, so that's great news.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think that's the reason why New Jersey backed off and some other states are backing off. It was just an advisory. Go ahead, Walt.
Delaware backed off. Delaware was threatening stuff too, and they backed off too.
Yeah,
because that's got to help in a court situation. That definitely got to help. So
What's that, Brickell?
I was gonna say somebody sent me something the other day too, where it was like H1757 or something, some bills that people are proposing, where it taxes like 50% on ammo, and you have to get like a permit to purchase ammo, and they're trying to do it like nationwide, and so. Right now, I feel like everyone's distracted with all this coronavirus stuff. They're going to try and do the most when it comes to gun laws and restricting stuff, because right now, not as many people are going to fight it. They're going to be distracted and focus on other things. So I feel like when stuff like this does happen, we got to pay close attention to other things happening too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Yeah. They always try to sneak stuff past us, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think that's how we wound up with, what was it, the Patriot Act? Remember that thing?
We don't have time to vote. We don't, and Obamacare and all that other garbage.
Yeah, we don't have time to read it, Walter.
Yeah, we don't have time to read it.
Yeah, no time to read the bill. We got to do this stuff.
Yeah, pass the bill to find out what's in it.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's HR 5117 or something like that. Someone out there will correct
Hank Johnson, right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I think they're always going to try to do these kinds of things. And, we do have to stay vigilant for that. And I know I saw some folks posting about that. As well as there's lots of states using all of this to enact all kinds of emergency rules and things like that, right? So it's not just trying to shut down gun manufacturers. I think they're just trying to inflict control over people right now. And I know that I think yesterday Trump extended this whole thing, because I think initially they were saying they were going to do 15 days. Now it's going, I think, until the end of April.
April 30th.
Yeah, April 30th.
Yeah. I mean, when have we had something like this in America where it's not, I don't think they're going to start arresting people. Although
No.
I did see this, guys. Do you know there was a preacher here? I think there was one in Michigan, but there was also there was a preacher here in Florida that was having, a big congregation on Sunday, and they went and arrested him yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that's just stupid.
Crazy.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's just I people get all freaked out about the government and everything, but there is something to that whole thing of not getting in big groups of people. Look at Miami-Dade and spring break.
Right. But what about people voluntarily? Walter? I don't know. There you go. You're back.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. What about people voluntarily doing that? Like, I understand why there's the advisory, but what if the folks in the church want to get together and they want to worship together?
Those First Amendment guarantees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also against the Constitution because that's violating your freedom of religion. That's violating your freedom, basically, to congregate together and freedom of speech.
Well,
yeah.
And who's going to buy themselves a ventilator, huh? When Granny needs a ventilator, is Granny going to put up cash for a ventilator?
Listen,
because she went to church.
I understand that, but okay, so why arrest the pastor and not everyone?
Because he was the one that instigated the whole thing. That's why.
Okay.
But also, you should know that if you're going out around a bunch of people like that, you're taking a huge risk. So if you're older, don't be surprised if it could affect your health. But I just don't like it when the government starts treating people like kids and telling you, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. That's it's crazy.
I do too, but I have a lot of adults act like kids, so they just do things. They're just, there is something to the whole thing of staying away from everybody and letting it run its course. If you continually infect more people, it'll, as Hank says, everyone will get it. And I think that's how everybody gets it, because it keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think though that people still have the right, if they're like, hey, we want to get together. I think it's a voluntary thing at this point. Then
what stops them from going to Home Depot or grabbing the gas pump you just grabbed?
Well, what stops them from doing that anyway? I mean, here in Gainesville, people are still moving around and doing stuff.
All it takes is one person in that church to infect 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Or for example, when they made a curfew, they claimed that we're making a curfew because since we're we're not arresting people for non-violent crimes, then if less people are out at night, there'll be less crime. To me, that's kind of the same as gun control, because they're saying if we make everyone go to their houses, no one's going to commit crime. But in my head, I think maybe wouldn't that make more crime happen, because people are like, well, there's no witnesses, there's no people out.
Yeah.
Criminals don't already follow rules, so they're just going to go out and commit more crimes.
I think there's that aspect of it that we have to think about as well, right? Imagine you're going to tell people, you know what? If you guys keep getting together in these groups, we're going to arrest you. But by the way, criminals, we'll let you go. You can go out. We don't want you to get sick, even though you're in prison, and that's where people are getting sick real easy. So we'll let you out with your sickness and go into the population, and you're a criminal doing nonsense. But everyone else, the law-abiding people who are out there, you all have to do what we say and, stay away from being in large groups. I don't know. It's kind of like, those two things are kind of butting heads against each other, I think.
You can survive. Yeah. You can survive not going to church for 2 weeks.
Now, no, listen. I think all of us should have the opportunity to decide what we want to do. Like, I don't like being in massive crowds of people in the first place, even when everything's good. I don't like big gatherings of people anyway. Right, so I'm not going to do it. I'm sure you're not going to do it, and lots of people out there aren't going to do it. But how do we know? Look, let's say we go with the I don't know what happened to. Oh, it looks like okay, Raquel. I think your phone fell down.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Let's say we go with let's go with the alien thing. What if the reason why they don't want us hanging out is so we don't realize that our fellow human beings have been body snatched by the aliens?
Bam! That's what I was thinking.
Maybe this is why. What do you think, Roy? This is a possibility.
I've never actually considered that angle till right now.
Yeah.
I must say it. Yeah.
Think about that.
But,
how do we know Walter's Walter? That might not actually be. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's Walter because I just saw him eating, so he's not an alien.
Yeah.
They do lie to us a lot. I mean, they took video footage of a hospital in Italy and used it here in the United States and tried to say it was New York. Mm-hmm. So they lie. We know they lie.
Who did that? CNN?
No, was it MSNBC? Do you remember? CBS. Yeah, no, it was CBS. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it this morning. They took footage, and then you can kind of hear it, like you can hear them speaking in Italian, like low key.
Yeah, no, that was in Hoboken. That was Hoboken.
Yeah, what are you talking about? There's Italians in there. Come on.
That was Hoboken. I was looking at something over the weekend. Speaking of Hoboken, so I used to live in New Jersey for a little while, and both of my sons were born in Jersey, and I was looking at this thing. I think it was Joe Rogan or something. They were talking about Hoboken, and they were saying it's so bad they had to like shut the whole town down because people in Hoboken party. And I was just rolling around laughing on the floor because I remember going into Lola used to work in Hoboken, and it was crazy.
So did you over the weekend? Did your emergency thing go off on your phone about going out in groups of 10 or more in boats?
Yes. No, in boats, no. I don't know if it was in boats.
We got a thing. It went off around here, because people have been going out in large groups in boats. In boats, okay. Well, you can't be socially distanced 6 feet away in a boat for the most part, unless you got a yacht. Mm-hmm. So they put that on the alarm thing, like was, remember, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Stay off your yachts. Stay off your yachts.
Yeah. Stay off your pontoon boat.
Yeah. Yeah, do you guys get those?
Funny. I never got that.
Yeah,
I haven't received an alert like that yet.
Yeah, the phone alerts, by the way, are very annoying. That's another thing I don't like about the government. The government being able to push an alert through my phone. No, don't like it.
It's one thing if there's a tornado bearing down on you, but when they put some of the stuff out and you go, why'd they use that for that? What's that?
Yeah, I got an alert that the purge was commencing. It kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Really? Where'd you get that alert from?
No, I'm just kidding.
And now we
low ammo alert. Yeah. Warning. Yeah. Purchase your ammo now.
I think especially if this thing goes longer, I think there's going to be people pushing back saying, why the hell does the government get to tell me that I have to stay in the house and I can't go out?
Right. Or especially when more and more small businesses who depend on large gatherings of people start to go under. Mm-hmm. Restaurants, bars, anything like that. I think you will see more and more open acts of just plain old civil disobedience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Trump did bring that up in his about restaurants. As much of a tyrant as Trump is, I think he is generally concerned about stuff. So. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do you guys want to, what kind of job do you all think Trump is doing? Should we get a thing? Let's start with Raquel. You think Trump's doing good job, bad job? You want to grade him?
I don't know. I think he's doing a pretty good job. There's, some things that I think he doesn't do very good at. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I watched a video where he was, talking to reporters and they were asking questions, and I don't know. I think he's kind of funny the way people ask him questions.
Yeah, he cracks me up for sure.
But I mean, I think he's doing the best he can do. I think if you are the president during this time, that's probably a lot of stress and a lot on your shoulders because you have to deal with so much. So anything you do, and the media already rips him to shreds, and they already any little thing he does, he could blink and they'll be like, oh, he's racist because he blinked, Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think he's doing a pretty good job. There's still things that I think he's somebody recently told me that he's coming after suppressors now. That he said he had a problem with suppressors or something. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. But
in the middle of all this, Trump was saying something about suppressors.
That's what somebody told me. That's what I overheard. But I don't really have information on that.
Right.
That much or no. That's just hearsay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I heard. I don't know if. Roy, I don't know if
it was. I think he said that a while ago, though.
A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, I remember a comment a while ago, but I haven't seen anything recent. I think he's doing, I guess, an okay job. I mean, I'm kind of ambivalent about Trump. He's a lot better than who could have been in the White House. I absolutely say that. But I mean, every once in a while, especially on Twitter, or he's so, I think, interested in getting his own way. Like whenever he was taking shots at Representative Massey earlier this week, I mean, he was just trying to. Representative Massey from Kentucky was trying to get folks on the record as voting for or against what was literally the largest spending bill in the history of people on planet Earth, right? Was it $6 trillion? Was it $3 trillion? It was enormous, ridiculous, huge. And none of the congressmen or the senators or the congresspeople wanted to go on record having voted for or against it, or the cop-out vote present, and he was just trying to get that to happen. And then there's Trump saying publicly, "Oh, they need to kick Massey out of the GOP. They need to kick him out of the party." I mean, there are a whole lot of on Second Amendment issues, Massey's the dude, right? I mean, he's really, really strong for Second Amendment, and I think lots of times Trump just fires from the hip without a whole lot of consideration of possible other ramifications of things he says or does.
I think that what a lot of people don't realize is that Trump is somewhere in the middle of being a Republican or a Democrat. I don't think he's either one. Yeah, I would say he's somewhere in the middle of that.
He's a Trumpian.
Yeah, he's all about Trump. He's also a New Yorker, which is what I credit for his combative approach to governing. Which I always understand it. It makes me laugh because that's New York. You say something about me, I'm going to say something about you.
Why shouldn't he?
Hey,
he is funny.
Everyone can do what they want to do. Go ahead,
Reporters will attack him and ask him questions, and then he'll be like, that's a stupid question, or he'll say, that's a rude question. Next, and it just move on.
I was rolling around when he called a reporter, asked him a question that, he always says snarky, and he goes, "You're just a cutie pie." Is a dude. You're such a cutie pie.
Let me translate. That means you're a dick.
Yeah, you have to go back and look up the cutie pie thing. But I think at the end of the day, I get it. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different style, a way of being the president or whatever. And so right now we got Trump. He's the president. This is how he reacts to things. It doesn't really bother me personally that he reacts like that because, the alternative, because basically every day he's coming out here, which we haven't seen in a long time. I can't remember the last time that a president had to literally come out every single day and do a press conference.
He doesn't have to. Yeah. He doesn't have to. I mean, he could have his people talking for him. He could have Pence talking for him.
Right. So he is coming out every day, and then every day those reporters are just lined up there like ready to go in to go in with the questions and to get really super conspiracy theory with you guys. I was telling Lola that I noticed this the other day. Most of the reporters are people of color and female.
Sure.
And I'm sure that that's to set up good news, like, oh, look at how he went after this black woman.
That black woman.
Yeah, or this black guy, or whatever it is. So I get all of that, and if you have to face that every day, I think I would have that same attitude. Like, if you keep pushing me, I'm going to push back till you realize, like, oh. And you can kind of see it in the way that they're interacting with him. They're doing their jobs and coming out with those stupid questions. And because really, I think and this is what's happening, why his approval rating's going up. Because the regular Americans looking at this, we're looking at those press conferences because we want to get info. I don't want to hear the gotcha stuff and, oh, you said this and parsing what you call the virus or whatever. I don't want to hear that. Tell me pertinent things. How long are we going to have to go through this? What exactly is happening? So they do that, and he hits them, and you can see from their reaction, they don't like that job. And that, I think, is how you have to deal with a situation like this where you have to go up there every day, and these guys are going to try to hit you. And I'm not trying to defend Trump either. I'm kind of, like you said, Roy, I'm kind of in the middle with Trump, because to me, he's in the middle of everything. I don't really see him as a dyed-in-the-wool gun guy. I don't see him as a Republican or a Democrat, really.
Right now, the gun thing, I hate to say this, doesn't matter. The gun thing doesn't matter at all right now.
Mm-hmm. And what do you mean by that?
It'll be on his shoulders when 100,000 people die.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be on anybody else's shoulders. Nobody will be talking about guns when your granny's dead or your best friend dies because of the coronavirus. It'll be Trump's fault. Yeah. Because he didn't do this or he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Watch. That's what always happens.
No, I understand that. Yeah. At the same time, you know, I would say, just like if we go back to what happened in Katrina, the government can't tell you whether or not you have the right to the Second Amendment.
But this is not.
I'm so glad. Sorry.
No, go.
No, I just want to say I'm glad you brought that up, because the whole Katrina situation, that was a really bad situation where they locked everyone down. They weren't letting anybody leave the city, and they confiscated all their guns. So it was a terrible. Just because of that example right there, I don't trust anything that they tell me to do or anything. Right. I believe that, you know, the coronavirus is very dangerous and stuff, but the government, I think, can be just as dangerous as anything else.
Go ahead, Roy. Go ahead, Roy. I know you have.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I think actually coronavirus is in some ways bringing guns more to the forefront. And the specific thing I want to reference is something I shared on my Facebook page earlier. Even the New Yorker magazine ran an article today about first-time gun buyers, specifically in very left-wing, I believe it's Seattle, Portland. I'd have to go back and read the article again. It's somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, and it was an interesting little piece about all the folks who are getting, like Raquel, like you were talking about with Katrina, getting their wake-up call that, hey, the government's not going to be able to protect us, like Hank, you were talking earlier about, and I think Walter was too. There have been locations where offenders in custody in jail have been released, right?
Yeah, that's Hank.
And lots of police departments, major, huge police departments have issued statements saying, hey, you know, we're not going to answer calls about burglary. We're not going to answer calls about robbery. We're not going to answer calls about auto theft. We're not going to answer calls about vandalism, you know, breaking and entering, blah, 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 blah. Make the list of all the things they're not going to arrest.
Basically, your everyday crime.
As long as it's not like rape or murder, they're not coming, right? And I think that combined, and there've even been, I've seen stories where police departments have reported like half of their officers down with coronavirus. Folks are having this, oh, wait, I am on my own type moment. The cavalry ain't coming. They just told me they're not coming. And then they told me that they're releasing a bunch of dangerous dudes back into society because they can't do anything with them right now.
Yeah. And who knows when those dudes are ever going. First of all, this is going for a month. So you have these guys who are that are being released. Okay, I know there's always someone in prison that doesn't deserve to be there, and I'm saying that seriously. Okay, but you're releasing a bunch of people because you don't know how to handle them. You don't know how to deal with them. They're in the close quarters, like Walter is saying. At the same time, they're criminals. At the same time, the corrections officers or whatever it is that's controlling those guys, they're getting sick. Those guys are going out back into the population, you know, and this is getting extended.
Getting the message that they can steal as much stuff as they want to, and the cops are not coming.
Yeah.
I don't get the thing about the police departments publicly saying, "Oh, we're not coming out."
There was a leaked memo from Philadelphia, and then there was another major PD. I saw the story like 2 days ago that made the list of things that they're just not going to answer calls for anymore.
Yeah.
At least,
I think them saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Raquel.
Oh, I was just saying, like, what's on the list? What exactly are they not?
Yeah. What are the crimes?
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I think that police departments saying this is to me very close to terroristic statements. Okay, I think it's just you're just adding more drama pressure to folks by talking about this crap. You know.
This might be a blessing in disguise though, because it might make the whole world, or at least maybe the United States, more pro-gun.
Yeah, I think that's what Roy's saying. That's the point Roy's making here. I think that's true. All these people who are going out there and trying to buy guns right now, in most cases buying guns and ammo right now, after this, they're not. First of all, if you're new to the gun world and you don't know this, if you buy that stuff, you cannot return it and get your money back. Doesn't work like that.
I got a question for Roy though. You mentioned the New Yorker magazine, right?
Right.
Why did they have to interview some people in Washington State? Why didn't they just stay right in New York, where the same kind of?
I would assume that the New Yorker may have stringers and correspondents of people who contract write for them all over the country, and that may just happen to be where that person was from. Let's see here, Philadelphia. Okay. This is from 2 weeks ago. Philadelphia police to delay arrest for some nonviolent crimes. Let's see here. Internal memo released by the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Dallas Fort Worth did the same thing. I saw Coleo Noir made a video on that.
Yeah, that's what I heard about Dallas Fort Worth police saying they weren't going out for minor crime.
Yeah. The point here is why are you saying this?
Yeah, why do you have to put it publicly?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
That's like Brickell's announcement of the purge, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Pretty much.
You know.
So if they're not going after nonviolent crime, why did that preacher get arrested?
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
Wasn't that nonviolent?
Here's what I think. I didn't think when everyone was mad about the kids here in Florida being out on the beaches partying, at the end of the day, this is your right. Like you have to believe whatever you believe through all weather. This is my opinion. So I think that if people, you know, especially if you're an adult, right? I know everyone could debate what's an adult, but you have the right to make these decisions, even if it's detrimental to you. Everyone's voluntarily going into that. Now, when you get sick or whatever, do we have to take care of you? No, we don't have to take care of you.
Of course they do. They won't turn you away. Come on.
We don't have to take care of you. If you want to do it, we don't have to take care of you.
Emergency room, they do. Yeah.
I've been staying home because it's my choice because I don't want to get sick. But at the same time, it's my choice, you know? Yeah. Like if I go out there and I start touching a bunch of stuff and going to the bar and licking doorknobs, I should know that.
Yeah. The next, I was going to say something.
Miguel, if you start licking doorknobs, take some video, please.
Okay, that's exactly what I just told myself. Don't say, Walter. I almost said that, and my brain said, "Don't say this."
Why not? Come on, man. Everybody else does, right?
Listen.
So what I'm getting to say is that gets to the point like the person who knows they have AIDS and goes out to have sex with as many people as they can. That is a murderer.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I
you're
agree with
choosing
you.
to have sex with that person, like. So
well,
I mean,
if you okay, I agree with you that if you know you have AIDS or if you know that you're sick. Let's say right now you know that you're sick and you're going out there and doing things to affect people. That's absolutely wrong. But if you are not sick and you're making this choice to go, let's say right now if it's the end of the world and you're like, hey, I want to be in my church. I want to be with my big extended family. If this is the last days, I just want us to hang out and do whatever together. Yes, that might be misguided for sure. It might be misguided. But if you don't know that you're sick and you want to go ahead and do that, then that's a choice that you're making as a human being. If we fall into the trap where the government tells us stuff and then we all just march to their orders without questioning whatever they say to us, how long is it before they start telling us, listen, we're just going to put these chips in you. It's for your own good. We're just going to inject it into you. I know.
We're just going to take all your nasty, evil guns. It's for your own good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people might murder people with them. So in order to solve that, let's get rid of all the guns. It's kind of.
Yeah. So that's I think we have to take a lot of that with a little bit of grain of salt coming from the government. In my opinion, I get it. Tactical Toolbox sent me an order. It's not for every state in Florida. Here, I'm going to try to pull this up. I can't share my screen, so forgive me for not being able to share the screen here. I don't really know what's going on with this, but there's some counties. Where is it? There's some counties here in Florida that are preparing for everything going on, right? And one of their plans is, what is this order? So. In the Circuit Court of Florida, 7th Judicial Circuit, for Flagler, Putnam, St. John's, and Volusia counties, they have these special emergency things that they're setting up, and one of them is mandatory vaccinations.
Oh, in Florida?
Yeah, in those counties. So, and I'm sure people are going to go, oh, well, you got to get vaccinated. I mean, government, you have to do this for the rest of us. But my personal belief in that is, no, you don't. If you don't want to get vaccinated, if you don't care if you get sick and die, that's your right as a human being.
There's not a coronavirus vaccine yet, is there?
I don't know. They're setting up.
Oh.
They're setting up for this stuff.
Oh, for in case one gets developed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is not right now.
I'm sorry for Phil.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
They're working on it. They're working on it pretty quick. They'll have it pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know about you guys, but I kind of my ideas are more based off like libertarian. Like, I own my body, so I have the right to put whatever I want in my body, do whatever I want with my body. So my body, I own it. I should be able to take it where I want to. If I don't want to get it vaccinated, I shouldn't have to. You know, I mean, even if you want to do drugs, you should. That's your body. I mean, you own your body. It comes down to like, does the government own your body, or do you own your body? You know.
This is very similar to the argument that you get from people about abortion. You know, and a woman's right to choose what happens to her. I'm not trying to tell you guys where I'm personally stand with it, but if you have that, you also have this, where you go, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I think if you willfully do something, like you know that you're sick, like we've seen that, right? We've seen people going around licking things.
It's already happened.
Yeah, and doing stuff like that. I'm fine with those people's asses getting arrested.
Public flogging.
Yeah, I'm fine with the public floggings. You know, I believe in that, Walter.
Yeah.
This all probably started from that viral thing of people licking ice cream and putting it back. This is probably how this got started.
Yeah, I think that stuff's been going on for a couple of years. Like people licking donuts. I know there was some celebrities doing that kind of
nonsense. Should do that. People get caught licking stuff like that. They should inject them with the virus and put them in a cage.
Yeah. They should be flogged. They should be flogged.
And let them just figure it out themselves as they sit there and yeah.
Yeah. I think we have to be careful, though. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like, are we just going to let the government tell us everything? And then we just go, okay, wait, I got to put this thing in my arm now. I got to be tracked. It's going to make everything better. Okay, yes, I'll do that. You got to be careful with that.
In this specific situation, I want to be real clear. I'm speaking for me personally here. I'm not speaking for Brownells. I really do lean more libertarian on a lot of this stuff. On the flip side, with the coronavirus, I've read some well-documented, source articles that say, was it 40 to 60% of cases are asymptomatic? People don't even know they have it.
Right.
And they don't get sick, but they do pass it on very, very easily because it's very, very contagious. In fact, right before I came on, there was a news story, breaking news story. There's a Dutch submarine. About half the crew has come down with corona.
In a submarine?
Submarine. The last time they were on land, they were in port in England somewhere, I think, like March 18th. And now about half the crew.
So that means the virus has been around for a long time.
Right.
Because how did they get infected and then get on that submarine back in March 18th?
Right. Somebody got it somehow and then got on the sub with them.
A lot of us might have already had this.
Right. We may have already had it. Don't even know.
Yeah.
I came back from the SHOT Show and had a bunch of weird-ass shit going on.
I was very sick before we went to SHOT Show.
I was sick at SHOT Show.
Yeah. So there's no way. I know when I went to the doctor, they told me I had, I think, the B strain. So, I don't know whether or not you guys. I think you went, Roy. You actually, because you were doing pretty bad in Vegas.
Yeah, I wound up in an ER. Yeah.
Did they test you?
That was an adventure.
They tested you, right?
Oh yeah, they tested me. They just said it was some sort of a virus. They didn't tell
you specific. Well, because at that point they didn't have a way to tell of this specific virus.
And I didn't have respiratory symptoms, but I was doing a lot of reading that in some cases the symptoms are distinctly not respiratory.
Yeah, I very distinctly remember saying, I think Roy has the Wuhan virus, and you got mad. I remember that. I remember saying because I remember you posted something somewhere and I said that and you were like, no, Hank, don't.
No, I didn't want to have the Wuhan virus. Come on, head go.
Well, my sister has the Wuhan virus in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law in New Orleans, one of them has the Wuhan virus. So, so yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
Affecting your family personally. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows how long it's been around?
Well. Okay, in China, they've been backtracking, trying to figure out the first person that came up with the shit that the doctors didn't know what it was. And it was probably back in November.
Oh, good.
When this person went to some people went to the hospital, and the doctors are like, oh, this is bad juju, Bana. Because they didn't know what it was. And then, those people, like this one woman, they had it, one of the first ones. She made a statement which shocked me. She says, oh, I get the flu every year. It's like, what the fuck? You get the flu every year? How many people here get the flu every year? Influenza, not a cold, but the flu.
No, every year.
Sometimes I do get the flu every year, like around springtime. Like around springtime, I notice around that time I get sick a lot.
Yeah, but do you go and get tested and they're like, hey, you have the flu?
No, I think it's just like allergies kind of.
Yeah, there's a difference between having a bad cold and having the flu.
And full-blown influenza, right.
Right, where you have fever and the whole 9 yards, yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, this woman gets the flu every year, but she works in that market, that wet market. And I'm like, holy fuck, that place is
wet market
is
definitely a problem.
It's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they think back as far like November was the first where it popped up.
Explain the wet market for the people who don't know what the wet market is.
The wet market is live animals, dead animals, and everything in between.
Yeah, it's like it's like a sci-fi movie.
There's live dogs there that they butcher right in front of you. They cut them up alive, just like you'd cut a lobster up and throw it in the water, that stuff like that. I mean, the only reason we do lobster because they don't scream in pain, probably. They do a little scream, but but you know what I'm saying. It's just it's a freak show as far as food goes and meat and stuff. So
yeah. And I think China has locked that down, right? Since this whole thing.
I don't know. The Chinese now, the people in Wuhan, some of them are saying that the official figures are not quite the truth.
Yeah.
As far as how many people died and everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what's currently going on there, actually, because it's the Chinese make it sound like it's all over with there, but it's not all over.
I don't think it'll ever be all over. Once these things get out, they go dormant for a period of time, and then they cycle back, and then they go dormant, and they cycle back again. So,
but the only when you say cycle, they don't ever go dormant. They're with somebody else, someplace else, and brings it here and brings it there and brings it there and brings it there. If it went dormant, I mean, okay, conceivably. If nobody ever came in contact with anybody else for a year, probably it would go away.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of things living on our bodies and our stomachs and all kinds. This is just what we are as human beings. We just like they said in the Matrix, we are the virus. Remember that? Remember in the Matrix where the guy said you're just a virus.
But once you have it, you create antibodies towards that.
Yeah.
Normally, that's the normal routine.
And that's why
you shouldn't get it again.
Right, and that's why some places want to go with the herd immunity, right? You've heard of the herd immunity,
right? Yes, the herd immunity. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. And a couple other news articles I saw. The guy who came up with the first enormous, crazy, wacko numbers of infection and deaths in England. Then shortly came out and says, "Oh, my mathematical model was wrong," and revised it, and it was still bad, but not near as bad as he had predicted. And I'm looking at a 7-hour-old headline right here at Newsweek that says, "Italy flattens the curve as daily rise in coronavirus causes fall to lowest rate." And they are, of course, practicing hardcore social distancing and locking everything down. And they've got the smallest daily rise in cases since this thing began, apparently in Italy.
Yeah. There is something to the social distancing.
Yeah.
It's not something they created to keep you in the house. It actually will work.
Well, I'm practicing social distancing. I mean, I'm in the start of week 3 of working from home for me personally. I mean, I still go out to the grocery store and the gas station.
Yeah.
But I take a chance every time I go outside the house, right? We all do.
Technically, yeah. Somebody could drive by in a car and sneeze or cough, and you could get it.
Well, no, I mean just being alive.
Gas pumps or the keypads at the grocery store.
Yeah. Whatever. By the way, there's still, unfortunately, not happy about it. There's still people dying every day of lots of different things. You know, let's think of
regular flu too. By the way.
Yeah, regular flu. There's still people dying in car accidents, even though there's supposed to be less people out there moving around. I think we're all practicing our different levels of social distancing. I mean, I'm coming in here to the studio in Gainesville. I work in here most of the time by myself until Lola gets here. But Lola and I live together. She works for the hospital. They're pretty much testing everyone over where she's at. So, you know, whatever's gonna happen there is gonna happen. I can't, you know, I don't know what social distancing husbands and wives are gonna do. But you know,
well,
but it all helps. It all helps if this is a thing. I think if you look at it, I know I was looking at the stats, right? So in the whole world, out of all the people that have gotten it in the world, I think 20% of the people who've gotten it worldwide have died. In America, out of all the people who've gotten it, about 2% of those people have died. There's definitely a difference between the world and America and what's going on. You know, I think, not to big up Trump over it, but closing borders, you know, the distancing or whatever's going on, maybe that's having an effect. I think what everyone's worried about here is like, how far do we trust the government? How long do we let them do something to us? And do it based on not an attack, not the towers went down and the Pentagon went down.
This is worse than
something
the
that we
towers
can't see.
down.
I agree with that. I understand.
More people. This will kill more people faster than any towers going down. I mean, just look at it. I mean, look at the people are. Yeah, I mean, the towers are bad. That was terrible, but this is pretty. If left unchecked.
Yeah, for a lot of people, what I'm trying to say here, Walter, is for a lot of people, until they know someone that gets sick, until they see that person suffering, and unfortunately, until they see someone that they know that gets sick and suffers, dies, they're like, I don't understand exactly what's going on here and why this has to like change everyone's lives. And then let's look past all of that. We cannot indefinitely separate ourselves from each other.
Oh no, you can't. That won't happen.
There's too many people on the earth.
Yeah.
Well, it's impossible. You can't keep. You're not going to stay inside you're only going to stay inside for so long before you just say, hell with it, and you're back outside.
Yeah.
Especially look at up north. Look at Roy's at.
Mm-hmm.
Roy, if it was 75, 80 degrees outside, you think everybody'd be inside?
Not here in Iowa. No, heck no.
Hell no, they'd be outside. They'd be out
on the boats.
Yeah.
They'd be out.
I'd be fishing.
They'd be out in their shorts and their.
But is it a problem to be outside? I think you just don't want to be.
No.
There's nothing wrong with being outside. You just don't want to be outside at a big outdoor concert or something like that.
Groups of people.
Yeah, you don't want to be in massive groups of people. But there's not a problem with being outside. I think people can go outside, walk around in your, on your property or in your backyard or something like that. You know.
The big thing about staying inside is like New York City. It's hard to go outside in New York City without bumping into somebody. Go for
a walk in your neighborhood. I spoke to Sam Andrews Custom Leather this weekend. He was like, "Oh, he lives in St. Augustine." He was like, "For the first time in ever, me and the wife, we got on bicycles and just rode all over St. Augustine because there was there's no one out there." Yeah,
people are out all over here in onesie twosies,
Mm-hmm.
Walking the dog, walking the baby, hanging out, but not big groups.
Yeah.
You can't go to the bar, you can't go to the pub, you can't,
Mm-hmm. At some point here, though, it is going to get a little bit crazy. I know that, just folks, like if we're going right now to the end of April, okay, it's going to get,
That's another 4.
Yeah, and there's a lot of small businesses, like you were saying, Roy, that do not have the resources to survive something like this. Bigger businesses can do it. I don't know. By the end of that month, there's going to be bigger businesses that are going to be suffering, and I don't think there's a stimulus package to save people from that.
Well, a lot of the restaurants and the small bars and stuff, they'll be gone, because they can't. Their people. First thing, the people can't. Well, yeah, they can't. They just won't be there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, for example, tonight this came from Boston Market, so Boston Market's doing to-go stuff, but that's a big company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one's letting you sit down and eat in there, and if they're big enough that they're doing that, they're still getting, because right now everyone's got to drive around and get takeout unless you can cook at home, which I guess is a lost art.
Yeah. I bet a lot of people are learning how to cook.
We were just lazy tonight, so that's why we didn't cook something.
No, I understand. Yeah, absolutely. Roy, before we run out of time here, because I know we've already eaten into an hour already. I know that I saw some stuff on the line that Brownells is doing stuff to help combat this coronavirus. What exactly are you guys doing?
Right. The press release we put out, there's a website called Folding at Home that basically, what Brownells is agreeing to do is to use some of its spare computing power to help with simulations of the virus genome to help research, speed up research to try to find a vaccine and a way to combat this. So there's other businesses doing it. Brownells, one of our IT guys heard about it, thought it was a great idea. The folks at Brownells said, yeah, that's awesome, let's do it. You can find the press release about it. It went out. I knew it ran on the site AmmoLand, for example. But that's one of the things that Brownells is trying to help with as much as possible. I've also seen it repeated, like the National Shooting Sports Foundation. They had an article. There were some other companies as well doing things like switching over to hand sanitizer. I think Otis is doing hand sanitizer now.
Oh,
and then was it? I don't want to name the wrong company.
Jack Daniels is making a hand sanitizer.
Jack Daniels is making hand sanitizer, and then some firearms company, related company, industry company was switching over to masks or something like that. Dedicating part of its,
I think one of the guys that makes vests or tactical gear of some sort, right? I think they're. I'm trying to remember which. Man, it just went right out of my brain, the name of that. Someone will tell us in the chat that there's companies. Okay, so you guys are lending computing power, basically, to the efforts.
For helping trying to figure out the virus the genome or whatever. I'm probably using the incorrect biological term, but the protein pattern inside the virus to try to figure out a vaccine. Something that's not as serious that I don't know if some folks have reacted pretty positively to, there may be a certain FAKE News anchorman reappearing on Instagram from time to time.
Oh, an anchorman.
Yes, I don't know.
Is he tall? Is he tall? Does he have like kind of a reddish beard?
Red beard. He's got a red turtleneck.
Is he from Arkansas?
No, actually, Wolf Howitzer is from some indeterminate place in the Midwest.
Him. He's basically talking about him. Walter's looking around like, what is happening?
I remember that now. Now you mention it.
Yeah.
Wolf Howitzer with FAKE News.
Oh, right. So, Wolf Howitzer is not from Arkansas?
Wolf Howitzer ain't from Arkansas.
Where is he from?
Wolf Howitzer. He's probably from he's from Hoboken. No.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going to be a good method actor, you need to get that straight. You need to know. Exactly.
Right. No, he's like Radar O'Reilly. He's from near Ottumwa, Iowa, is where.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're gonna see.
He thinks onions are spicy.
Yeah, we're gonna see Wolf Howitzer.
He's already on Instagram.
Oh, so, he's already out there on Instagram. Okay, he's gonna be giving us news reports.
Oh, he's going to be doing various things, news reports, and trying to help folks find creative ways to deal with being bored at home.
Okay.
How many? I think the OBGYN people are going to be busy in 9 to 10 months.
That very well could be the case. Yeah.
There's going to be lots of little corona babies. That's
yeah. What are all these babies? Go ahead, Brickell.
Somebody's name is going to be Corona.
That's what I was going to say. These babies are going to get some crazy names. I mean, everyone now is just coming up with crazy names for their babies. So, yeah, I can just imagine. The virus. You know.
COVID.
Yeah. LaShonda LaVirus Smith.
LaShonda LaVirus?
It's going to happen.
LaShonda LaVirus Bandium.
Yeah. Oh.
Chrome Bandium.
Yeah, Chrome Bandium. That's Walter. Walter wants to name his next son Chrome Bandium Keller.
That's never going to happen because I know that for a fact.
You got snipped. When you get a dog, you can name your dog Chrome Bandium.
Chrome Bandium.
Yeah. Make sure you get one that's gray.
Raquel, if you don't know, Chrome Bandium is like a steel. Like you'll see it on wrenches. Like you get a wrench and it'll say Chrome Bandium. And I thought, that'd be a cool name to name a kid. Chrome Bandium. Sounds like a superhero's name.
It sounds kind of like French, like kind of fancy. Chrome Bandium.
Yeah. Okay, I think. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can get. I'm gonna try to get Patrick in so that.
Yeah, a lot of the distillers now are switched to making a hand sanitizer. So, if you've ever been to the Jack Daniels distillery and you smell the raw alcohol that comes off the still, it's about 190 proof. Mm-hmm. It's like. I took a whiff of one of the pots up. No, smell this, and I stuck my head in there and took a big whiff, and I about passed out. Literally, it was so strong.
It's almost contact high. Right?
You're supposed to do this thing, You're supposed to kind of waft it in front of you.
Okay.
Smart Walt went.
By the way, it's Gun Day Monday, so make sure everybody goes and checks out my new video that I put up today.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You got a new video up? Okay, we're going to get to that soon here. We got to let Roy go here because Roy's done his hour. Roy, any final things you want the folks to know out there before you go?
Just that even though some of our more popular types of ammo are out of stock temporarily at Brownells, we still do have lots of other things, especially guns or less popular calibers of ammo. So check it out at brownells.com. And everybody stay safe and stay healthy.
Awesome. Thank you, Roy. We appreciate you coming on, keeping us up to date.
Happy to.
Yes. And, buy all the 20. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. We got to wave the flag one more time.
Yeah, wave the flag. Wave the flag.
Wait. Why is my flag always upside down? I don't know. We got to get Brickell one of these because I know. This is so terrible to Brickell.
Hit me on Instagram, Brickell. See what we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
All right, Roy. Thank you.
All right,
bye, Roy.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, let's see if we can get. I think we got Babyface in here. Let's see. Here we go. Boom! The Babyface is joining us.
He's muted.
Babyface. Oh, is he muted?
Yeah, it looks like he's muted.
There we go.
Okay,
no,
there he goes. All right, awesome.
I just had sushi and now I'm having dessert, which these things are fucking delicious.
Key lime.
Key lime pie.
Key lime. He's a Floridian. He's from Tampa, actually, so that's not even Florida.
So what did I miss?
Wait a minute.
Key lime's Key West.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay, Brickell. You got to be logical. Well, you got to be logical with us.
Yeah, there's different, parts.
Right. No, I understand. Welcome to Babyface P. Thank you to Roy from Brownells for joining us. Babyface is also rocking his Brownells. Where's your flag? I think it's
in the garage on the wall.
It's in the garage. There you go. Okay, so Brickell.
I keep it full time now.
Brickell was just telling us about Gun Day Monday. She's got a new video. What's the video?
Yeah, so it's a video here in Conroe, Texas. So as you guys know, I go around and do classes for women that have never really shot before or might be nervous and trying to spread the Second Amendment everywhere. So I did a class where I had 2 students and I took them out and, it was a really good class. The video is really cool. And I just want to give a shout out to Sportsman's Guide real quick, if that's cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Plug them and Just Holster It, justholsterit.com, where they make holsters and stuff. Those 2 companies have been supporting me, and I couldn't have done it without them. So if you haven't seen the video, go check it out and share it with your friends too, because it helps grow the Second Amendment. And if you like seeing women get into guns and shooting, then definitely give it a thumbs up.
Awesome. There you go. And while you guys are doing that, make sure you subscribe to her channel. And then that's probably, you're going to put out when you drop the album, are you going to put all 6 songs on YouTube like everyone does with like just a pick? So we can listen to it. Are you going to do that? Or we have to, like you're putting out video by video?
I might do that. Or I might just do individual like music videos of them. But I'll definitely put it on iTunes as like an album.
Yeah.
So you can download it.
I think what you should do for those 6 songs that you drop, you should go back to whatever videos we've done together and find a part with me in it, and just loop that like 3-4 second frames. Just loop it, and then put the music on it. I think that's
just a slideshow of Hank's faces.
Yeah, faces. Me and you could be in there too. That's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind. You know how people are getting really creative now with their albums when people put out albums, Walter, back in your day you had to go to the store and buy it, you had to go buy the record. I guess you guys had 8 tracks or I don't know.
I did have an 8-track player actually.
Yeah, in the Flintstones you had like a bird that went on a piece of round rock.
I used to watch the Flintstones, by the way.
Me too.
Flintstones are cool, man.
Yeah, we're probably the only ones who got that joke in this whole thing. Babyface didn't get it. Brickell did not get it.
Watch the Flintstones.
I
had
like a movie where they go to Vegas.
Oh. The movie.
Yeah, there's a movie and they all go to Vegas.
You never saw the cartoon?
Yeah, I've seen the cartoon, but it's been a while, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, now when they put out albums, so when they put out music, they put out all the album and it goes up on YouTube. But instead of making a video, which is ridiculously expensive, they just put either one pick up there or they have a little loop that's looping all while you're looking at it. And they've gotten pretty like inventive with that stuff, I think. So. Making music videos is just too expensive nowadays. So DCG44 says Hank, she wants it to be successful. What? Of course.
What do you say?
He says you want it to be successful. Why would it be? Yeah. What are you trying to say? I don't understand. It's not going to be. It'll be successful. This is a great. You know what? Okay, don't listen to my idea. That's fine. Okay, I have awesome ideas.
It's going to be successful.
Yeah, I have awesome ideas here. So.
We'll ask Lola for the ideas. How about that?
Yeah. Really? You're gonna ask Lola? Okay. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going downhill real fast here. Yeah. So Kathleen Music Lover is saying, "Are you in Texas?" Sounded like you said you were in Texas, right?
Yeah, Conroe.
What are you doing? Are you living in Texas, or are you guys just traveling? You still on tour?
Yeah, we're on tour. We're living in Texas right now.
Mm-hmm.
We go from like Texas to Florida a lot, like back and forth. We have a class in Dallas, Texas, at the Texas Gun Experience,
mm-hmm.
and then we have another class in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever this whole coronavirus thing goes away, that's when we can do that, you know.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna let you guys back into Florida if you try to come back. Florida is locking off the borders. I don't know if you heard
forever.
No, not forever.
Texas and Florida are blocking the people coming from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I saw that today.
Yeah. I think they're blocking. I think they're trying to block I-95 too, Walter.
Yeah, well.
All the New Yorkers.
Yeah, they don't want Florida don't want all these people coming down from New York and you know.
So they're blocking Florida, like the whole state.
Yeah. We don't need your stinking virus over here.
Yeah, keep it up there. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up there.
Florida is mostly made up of people from New York and Michigan and where else?
And in this time of year, Ontario.
Ontario, yeah.
Canada.
My neighbors from Ontario.
Really?
Across the street.
Okay.
Yeah, they're snowbirds. They come down for the summer and go back for the come down for the winter, go back for the summer.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of Florida.
Yeah.
I think the most people I see come from Michigan. I don't know what you guys think. Most of the people, I see a lot of Michigan in Florida.
Yeah, Michiganders.
Yeah,
Michiganders.
I see all those people.
I don't know.
Huh?
I see a lot of people from like Colombia.
Yeah, we do have a lot of South Americans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, when I used to work at Busch Gardens, every summer the Colombians and the Brazilians would like descend.
Yeah, but they don't drive. They don't drive up.
It's crazy.
They don't drive their cars though.
No.
I'm sure you weren't complaining about the Colombians or the Brazilians.
It was more of the people that when you said please don't touch the bird, and they would try to touch the bird, and then the bird would try to bite them, and they're like, ah! It's like, well, I told you not to touch the bird. What do you expect?
Don't touch the boy. Don't touch the boy.
No comprende, mother.
Exactly.
It is, first of all, Babyface. Where was this? At Disney or Universal?
Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens. Okay. If I pay my money and I come in there to see Shamu or whatever bird or whatever, what am I paying my money for?
Have you seen a macaw snap a stick in half, like a broom handle in half? Because they can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, in that case, I won't touch the bird. I won't touch it.
No.
I think used to. You said, didn't you say this in the past that you also train those birds that eat people?
What? No.
The ones with the big.
Yeah, remember the big dinosaur bird that the guy tripped over and then it ate him?
Well, we didn't train him to do that. It was just an asshole. It did that on its own.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys want a story time? You want me to tell that story again?
Yeah.
So when I was working at Busch Gardens, we had a marabou stork called Ebb, who was an asshole. He was mean. He was a mean ass bird, and nobody liked him, and he didn't like any of us. But he did his little thing. He would fly around the stage, and then come back and then try to snap at us as he walked back into his cage. And they're like chest height, big birds. These are big sub-Saharan African birds that like can fight lions and eat shit. Like they're mean.
Yeah. So hold on a second. Dinosaur birds.
Yes, absolutely.
Dinosaur birds.
Absolutely dinosaur birds.
Pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Modern pterodactyl. So their beaks are about this long and they're serrated. And they're very sharp. They're like razor sharp. And we always said whenever you go to make him do any of his behaviors or take him out of his cage or whatever, you only took 2 meatballs. You didn't take his whole daily diet with you because his whole daily diet was like 20 or 30 meatballs. He only took 2. One for when he takes off and one for when he lands.
Okay, hold on a second. Why are you guys feeding this bird meatballs? And then 2? Don't ever feed him 2. This is what dudes are walking around with. And then when he eats some dude's meatballs, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah. You trained him to eat someone's meatballs.
This one guy that worked there ignored that whole thing or forgot or something and decided to go into his cage to clean the cage with the bird's entire daily meatball diet in his hands in Tupperware. And Eb, of course, attacked him.
And then he died.
As he's trying to like back out of the cage, he trips over backwards, and Eb proceeds to bite him in the face like 3 or 4 times. So he comes out of the cage with like 3 or 4 big like bite lines across his face. It was horrible but hilarious at the same time because it was like, we told you not to do that. That's why you don't do that.
He must have looked like a meatball.
Oh my God! Poke his eyes out or something.
Yeah.
Eb was mean. Whew.
Yeah, Jake Delahome says Babyface was known as the Bird King. Yeah, that's a reference to that Netflix show. Tiger King, yeah. And Babyface kind of looks like that. He kind of looks like that guy.
One of my old bosses from Busch Gardens actually worked at what's the name of the Big Cat Rescue in Tampa. So I have a little bit of a connection. I haven't talked to her in years, but yeah, she worked there.
Yeah.
Well, let me go back to another a Busch Gardens story, and it happened early 2000s where the girl got her arm tore off by the tiger.
In Busch Gardens.
I think it was a tiger.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she was working, I think, at Busch Gardens and stuck her arm, the animal got her arm was between the bars, and that was all it took. And,
oh yeah.
But she was the daughter of a machine shop that I used when I first started making uppers. So I saw her walk in, and she was a cute girl, but man, her arm, she was missing it from the joint down, I think, or something. So, yeah.
So they had to wrap a tourniquet, like as soon as it got ripped off or something.
Yeah.
I was at SeaWorld. I was working at SeaWorld when that girl drowned. I wasn't there that day, but I was working at SeaWorld at the time when that happened.
When the orca drowned her?
Okay.
It changed everything around that park.
Yeah. That is scary stuff. I know that some animals can rip your whole body into that cage. If they really want to.
Gorillas, orangutans, any of the greater primates will screw you up. Like, holy crap! If you ever look at chimps, oh my God, chimps will tear you to pieces.
Oh yeah, those cute little chimpanzees. Yeah.
I've always been scared of grizzly bears. Like going hunting or camping and just running into a grizzly bear, that would be scary.
Yeah. You know what? I think all of us are scared of grizzly bears too. I'm scared too.
I can tell you a grizzly bear story from here. From Yellowstone.
Did a grizzly bear go all revenant on you?
We were in the park, and it was lunchtime, and we had food in the back of the Suburban, so we're gonna pull in one of the little roadside areas where you can picnic. And we pull in and we get our food out, and this other car comes around, and she goes, "There's a grizzly bear right over there with cubs."
No!
And I'm like, you ain't seen some people put some shit back in the car fast. So we put the stuff back in the car, and we go to pull out, and there's Mama with 2 cubs, and Mama's just walking along. She didn't really look at us. And the cubs looked at us, but that was cool, just to see.
I hope you brought one of your 50 cals with you.
No. Can't have that in the park.
No.
Can't have that in the park.
Yeah, you know what? Why? If you know the bears are out.
Well, they're everywhere.
Just drive by, or do your picnic on the roof of your car while it's moving.
It's like my grandparents. So. My grandparents have a house in the mountains in North Carolina. I mean, it's backwoods, it's in the mountains. And they're constantly complaining about, we planted flowers, we planted roses, we planted all this, and the deer come by and eat it all. And I'm like, you live in the mountains, you can't complain about that. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, why are they even planting stuff for?
Yeah, and then they won't plant like berry bushes. Like blackberries grow really well there. They won't plant it because the bears will come by. I'm like, the bears are already here. The bears aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
They don't care about you.
And they don't have fences, huh?
No, it's open property.
Oh, yeah. If you have open property, why are you planting something?
You think the bears are going to stop because of fence?
Oh yeah, bears are.
That's what I was
Oh,
gonna say.
man.
Yeah, I
Let's hear
know.
that next.
Oh, I know for a fact bears can climb. I used to go.
Oh.
I had a friend in Pennsylvania, and he had like he had like a big warehouse, kind of steel building that he made into his house, and it was 2 stories, and he had a deck that was like on the bottom and up top, and up top he had a bird feeder. So guess what the black bears do? When they come out of hibernation, they climb up there and go for the seed or whatever in the bird feeder.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, we at the house one time when they leave it for winter, obviously, and they go back up for summer. One year they went back up for summer, and there were bear paws. The whole front of the house is just glass all the way to the top, like a big big thing of glass. And there were bear paws, I don't know, 8-10 feet up on the glass windows, like way up where a bear had stretched up to like climb in or look
God.
in. But yeah, bears are no joke.
Just imagine if you're like sitting there, like in your back, like you have your back to the door, to the glass sliding door, and then you turn around and the bear's right there.
That's one thing I'll give bears credit for is they're not stupid. If there are people in the house, they know not to come around. There's
sure.
noise, there's smells, there's whatever. But
I don't think
During
Have you seen the movie?
Go ahead.
go for
Sorry.
it.
Have you seen the movie Backcountry? It's on Netflix. I saw it was on Netflix. I think like One More Day.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie Backcountry. It's
Back
It's
country?
crazy. Backcountry,
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually worked on a documentary that someone did about bears called "They're Not Mean, They're Just Hungry."
Yeah, true. That's a good name.
That's all of it.
Yeah.
So's a great white shark too. They're not mean.
Yeah.
They're just hungry.
Care about
Basically,
you.
this was about this dude that bought a big piece of property. Was it in Minnesota? I forget exactly where it was, but anyway, he had this huge piece of property, and it was like pretty much like a junkyard. He had a bunch of cars and stuff there, and the bears would come in and steal food. So then he started feeding them because he says he found out that they weren't mean. They were just hungry. So he starts feeding them, and then people start driving through there, and that becomes like a landmark for everyone on their road trips to come up there and feed these bears. And there was all this video that I was going through of crazy-ass people feeding the bears. So this
Please do not do that.
people would bring food, and like he would have food in his mouth, and there was video of this, like these bears would come up to him and take the food out of it. It was so insane. It's the craziest
That's
thing.
how you lose your face to a bear.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen, but
The
I
bears-
worked on that. Huh?
The bears didn't eat him though. He's still good.
Well, he died, but not from bears. No, they never did.
Well, he died.
Oh.
Bear
He
ate
died
him.
of old age. He died of old age. They never did anything
That's
to
the
him.
best. That's the best way to answer that. Did the bears eat him? Well, he did die.
But not. I said
They're
not
just,
from
they're
the
just
bears.
hungry. That's all.
They were just really hungry.
They're just hungry. That's
Yeah,
all.
it was so
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Like, why are you feeding? And it's not good for these bears to get domesticated
No.
either. And the craziest thing is, I didn't know this, but I saw it on the documentary. There's albino black bear. I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So they call it an albino black bear?
Yeah, because here's the problem. Yes.
There's a polar bear running around in Tennessee.
Here's the problem that they had in this thing that was so ridiculous. Like, he had this property, and the bears would come on there, and he would feed them. But all the properties around there, people hunted the bears. So he's feeding the bears, and they're like, human's nice. Then they go walk over here into the woods, and the humans take them out.
and they're fat bears. Then there's lots of
Yeah,
fat
I
in
got
meat.
lots of good meat.
Yeah.
They have
Overall,
lots of blueberries.
yeah.
It'd be sweet.
Overall, I don't recommend it. I think a lot of animals just need to be, it's the whole thing with the killer whales and stuff like that, huh?
Said left alone.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
Why do we
It's
even
like
have
you
those
don't,
things
you
in
don't
captivity?
you don't need a chimpanzee for a companion. Leave it in the jungle.
What about a honey badger?
No.
Listen, the gun,
Well-
yes. The gun, yes. Brickell.
Honey, what honey are we talking about, honey?
Honey bad.
The gun, yes, Brickell. The actual creature, no.
Leave it in the woods. Leave it in the woods.
The actual creature.
Yeah, you don't. Do you have one of those creatures? I don't think so.
No, I can't find one. Can't find one. If you find one, let me know.
No, I'm not gonna go looking for one for you either. I'll come back with an arm or something like that missing. I don't understand how people wind up messing around with all these. And there's a lot of that, like talking about this Tiger King guy. There's a lot of places where I live. There were people. I guess there's a lot of circus people in Florida, and these people had like lions and stuff. You would drive by their house, and you would see the lions in cages, and the cages are right down by their fence. You know, their fences
kind of
are
like Thailand.
Huh?
Like in Thailand, I went to Chiang Mai, and they put you in this like giant cage, and there was full-grown tigers, and there was like 7 of them, and you can go around and like pet them, and it was crazy.
And you went in there.
Yeah, yeah, because it was fun. You know, I mean, I don't know.
Is that's the place that's run by the monks? Is that the place that the monks run?
I don't know if it's run by monks, but it was in Thailand, so probably.
I saw one place I think where the monks have those tigers, like, and they pet them, and they're
They pet them and sleep with them.
You know, people realize. Well, people do realize how badass a tiger is. You know, crunch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got to pet crocodiles too. It was Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the type of things I don't do. I don't believe in these things.
I don't do anything. I just want to.
I don't like to go pet creatures. This is like what
they can eat me.
Yeah, I don't know how people like to go pet, creatures. I think Babyface froze or something like that.
The monkeys didn't seem too nice. I don't know. They looked. I mean, I can't blame them.
Have you seen the video, Raquel, of the monkeys over there? Since there's not as many tourists to feed them now, they've been feeding the monkeys, and the monkeys are just like crazy when it comes time to be fed, and they're fighting over food and everything else. Yeah, like a pigeon. Come on,
it's like pigeons, but just bigger and more vicious.
There ain't a pigeon in the world can tear your face off. Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
But have you ever been to like Trafalgar Square?
Oh, I've seen pictures of all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, those pigeons are out of control over there. And yes, they're little tiny birds that you think are harmless, but it's a lot of them, and it's creepy enough. Imagine, basically what you're doing when you're feeding those things like that. You have these really super strong creatures out there, and you're feeding them. And then all of a sudden, they get the wrong whiff of something, and they lose it. And start tearing everyone to pieces. Or someone gives them the signal, like, this is Planet of the Apes time, mofos. Let's go.
Like in Star Wars. What is that? What was the thing in Star Wars? The number that set off the clones to go back and kill everybody.
Order, was it Order 66? No.
Yeah, Order something like that. Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Did Babyface leave?
No, I think he looks like he was freezing, so he might have gotten kicked out. We'll probably get him back here in a second. Yeah, I don't know if Raquel, you don't look at Star Wars, right?
No, I don't really watch Star Wars, to be honest.
Oh,
not really.
So you're not nerdy, huh?
No, maybe just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Normal nerdy, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I know you're nowhere nerdy. We're nerdy over here. We're nerdy.
Did you see where they some people want to turn nerd into a bad word, like it's a word you can't use because you're putting somebody down. Yeah.
Who wants to do what the hell is wrong with people?
I saw that on the interweb.
Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of words you can use to put someone down. What about like idiot? Are they gonna ban that word?
that applies to a lot of people.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be wrong. You can't. Pretty soon you won't be able. Don't talk to him. He looks at me funny.
Well, yeah, there are people who get offended by that.
Yeah.
He smiled at me. What do you mean? Why are you smiling at me?
Yeah.
That was sexual harassment.
Yeah. Hey there. It's like, oh, dude, don't smile, please. Whatever you do, don't smile.
People are getting too sensitive.
Yeah. So
American Freedom Outdoors says there are people who have wolves and coyotes as pets.
No.
Crazy.
That's kind of cool.
No.
A wolf.
I don't think so.
Wolf's another one that could eat you. That's another one that.
Yeah.
I don't. Leave the wild animals out in the woods. Leave them alone.
But do you think that like if you have the animal from when it's just born, when it's a baby, and it grows up with you its whole life, do you think it kind of is like a dog where it becomes loyal and it actually like really cares about you? Or
yeah, but they still have that. There's still that wild in them. There's still that. That's like if you have a tiger from the time it's little, it still has those instincts.
Yeah.
And if it gets turned on, it's not bad juju, Bwana.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be turning on your tigers.
Yeah.
Don't walk around. Don't walk around in your skimpy outfits around your tigers. If they get
they might mount you.
If they get the bat signal, it's over.
I mean, elephants in Thailand and stuff. When they raise those with people and they're treated, elephants are very intelligent too. By the way, I mean, they say elephant never forgets. Well, it's kind of the truth. The elephants don't forget. Yeah. But if they're raised properly, really nice. Right, and they're not abused, they're your best buddy. Mm-hmm. But if you abuse them, oh dear, yeah, they'll pick you up and they'll break you like a stick. So
yeah. Let me just ask everyone out there to smash the thumbs ups. Okay, let's see, we got lots of folks joining us right now. Smash the thumbs ups if you will. We appreciate that. Let me just say this to you. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, you've not had any kids yet, Burkel, but you know,
no kids.
Okay, so I've got 2 boys. I raised them from the time Lola popped them out. They're 19 and 20 years. They're 19 and 20 years old, and they love me. I love my boys too. They're awesome, and I could tell you, if either one of those boys had the power of tigers or lions, I probably would not be here. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Like I know from raising human children. From babies that, things could go and I don't fight with my kids or anything like that. We get along pretty well. But I think if they had the power of a tiger or a lion, there's been a few occasions where they might have eaten me to death.
They don't have that instinct bred into them to kill. Human babies. Human babies don't have that.
But that's the point I'm making. They love you and everything, but still, even as your kids, if they had superpowers like that, there might be a time they'd be like, I think I could take that out. Get a bit, right across the throat or something like that, and you're out of here. Look, it's the same thing like my dog, for example. Very intelligent dog. He's not with us anymore, but very intelligent dog. You know how many frickin' things he destroyed?
Well,
so I'm pretty sure that I would not be able to handle raising a tiger or a lion.
Well, first thing, you wouldn't be able to afford to feed the damn thing. I mean, because we're talking about red meat. We're not talking about tiger chow. You buy it
you just get them like steaks.
Oh, they eat hundreds of pounds of meat.
Yeah, a lot of meat. A lot of meat.
Yeah, that's one of the things about.
Isn't there a famous guy? He was on the movie The Hangover, and he has a tiger for a pet. Who's the guy?
Talking about. You're talking about.
One's ear off.
Yeah, you're talking Mike Tyson. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah, he had a pet tiger. He doesn't have a pet tiger right now. That's when he was young. Young,
dumb.
Yeah, that whole all the all the things that rhyme. That's when he did all that. Old dude right now. He doesn't have a freaking. Even if you're old and the tiger is old, it could still take you out.
Kill your ass, yeah.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it.
A lot of those animals, when they get old, like sometimes dogs do and stuff, they get a little nutty, like people do. They lose their minds. So you got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
There was a woman that was on Oprah, and she owned a monkey. I think it was like a chimpanzee.
A chimp, yeah.
And it like ripped her whole face off.
Oh,
Went and attacked her, and she looked really messed up,
Oh yeah.
Oh, she is messed up.
Yeah, you won't be cute after that.
Leave those wild animals in the woods. You don't need them wild.
I don't even like them in the zoo. And have you ever noticed? Like I noticed when I lived in the Bronx, for example, I would go up to the Bronx Zoo, and they had lions and tigers and shit like that. And you go up there to see these things, you never saw them. You know why? They stayed in their little caves or whatever that they have up there. Those things don't want to come out unless you feed them. So only if they feed them, then they come out. And people think, oh, that's okay. No, if they come out to get fed and you wind up there and they're hungry, they're going to be like, oh, this must be my food.
Fresh meat.
Yeah. So I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I'm just so against that, even though I know people do it and they think,
they're so cool and everything else.
Yeah. I have to say this. I know this is going to sound racist, but you do not typically see my people doing stuff like that.
I know
we got Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson was crazy.
Yeah, that's white people crap, huh? Owning tigers and stuff.
Well, this white person ain't getting no animal pet that can eat me. They ain't gonna do that. No.
I mean, you gotta admit though, owning a tiger would be pretty freaking sick. Like if somebody came over to your house and you're like, hey, so you want to see my tiger that I own in my backyard? Yeah. I would probably go look, wouldn't you?
I could tell you from listening to Eddie Murphy and his brothers talking about when they went to Mike Tyson's house and he had that tiger. No, they didn't want to come out of the limo.
No, would you? No way, man.
No, he would. So all these guys would come over to Mike Tyson's house in Beverly Hills when he had that tiger, and he would just bring the tiger out there or whatever. Like, come on, guys, just look at my tiger. And they were like, hell no, man, I'm not coming. I'm not getting out of the car. Let's just leave. They would run away. They would just leave. You know, so yeah. It's cool, but you're not. No one's gonna want to hang out with you and your pet. I remember. So my buddy Mark had a German Shepherd. She passed. This creature was all wolf. She was all wolf. I remember the first time I had to meet his, and this was his kid basically. Okay, my friends Mark and Jennifer. This was their child. So the first time I went over to his house, he's like, listen, we're driving over there, and for 20 minutes he's giving me the talk about meeting, this wolf, basically. But it was a German Shepherd, okay? And he's like, look, when we get there, I'm going to go bring her out. First you need to stay in the car. Then I'm going to go bring her out. Then you could get out, and she's going to try to get away from me, but you just need to stay. We're going through this whole thing.
What the hell?
He's running down. He's running down like all the things are going to happen. He's like,
that's crazy.
But don't get scared. Don't run away or anything like that. She'll calm down. That she might act up a little bit. He's telling me all of this. And in my brain, I'm like, I don't think I need to do this. If you have to talk me through this, I don't need to meet this creature. And then he was like, oh, no, it's going to be cool. Then I'm thinking when we're actually doing it, it all goes down exactly how he says, right? He goes and gets her. She comes up. She says, ah. Like from when we pulled up and he left me in the car, she was like barking and carrying on in the house. And then when he brings her, he's like, no, just come out now, Hank. And I'm like, I don't want to come out and meet this dog. And I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? If this dog attacks me and I take her down, this is his child. I got to take him out too at the same time. All of this stuff is going through my mind. And here's the funny thing about it. I went through all of that, and then she chilled out. And from then on, forever, whenever I went over there, she was just cool.
Yeah.
But it was weird and scary, Yeah. So I don't.
In the chat, Tim Davis says after 3 weeks, my kids are become feral.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going wild.
Yeah, I mean
3 weeks.
Yeah, who was that?
Tim Davis. Excuse me. After 3 weeks, my kids are become feral, like a feral cat. They go wild.
What do you do with your kids? What do you do with your kids how do you?
Well, I mean, they've been out of school for 3 weeks a lot of places. So
play games, play board games. That's what I say.
Put them out in the yard. Let them run around.
Yeah. What's that, Brickell?
Yeah, online school, or I don't know, teach them how to handle a gun or firearm safety or something.
If you can, go out and do some shooting in the backyard. I think play some games. Teach them how to play chess. It's a very cerebral, very manly game.
Yeah, very. Yeah. It's funny too.
Huh?
Well, speaking of that, I was reading a little bit about how you're going to get your money from the government. That everybody's supposed to be getting some money. They say first thing, if you file taxes before, you're already probably pretty cool, but you want to get your taxes filed for this year, or the current tax, your 2019 taxes, as soon as you can. So, just a little heads up.
Yeah. Do you think we're actually all going to survive to get this money?
I think so. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I feel like this is. I feel like everything could be totally cool. This is a 50-50 situation to me. Everything could be totally cool, or we could be about to go through what happened to the slaves in Africa that they wound up like in slavery. That could be about to happen to us. Because basically, dudes were at home, and then people came to them and said, "Listen, there's going to be these crazy people that don't look like us that are going to come take us. You know, we sold them to you. You belong to them now.
Are you writing a screenplay
You go get on their ships and you go with them. Everything's gonna be cool. Just grab your luggage, take your kids, and go get on them. That could happen to us. us.
Well, maybe it ain't happened to us.
Huh? This could be this. This could be. This is what happened in slavery, by the way.
They didn't just say, "Come on, man, we're going to get on the ship."
Yeah, they did. Actually, they did. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Or the Jews.
Yeah.
Maybe they, when they got them on those freight trains, maybe they were like, "Hey, there's something crazy going on over here. We get you on these trains. We're going to take you somewhere safe where you're quarantined."
Yeah.
And then,
Everyone thinks that's a joke, but the reality is most of that didn't happen by force. Okay? Because when people didn't have any choice, they just went along because they didn't want I don't want my family to be hurt. I don't want this, I'm just going to go along with everything. And whether people
scare tactic.
Yeah, whether people realize it or not, that's what happened in slavery. That's how my ancestors wound up in the Caribbean, and for folks here this is how their ancestors wound up here. It wasn't like some white dudes came over there and clubbed people in the head and then they woke up the next day in the ship. Yeah.
It was the locals that were doing
it. Was their own people that basically sold them and came to them and said, "Hey, listen, we sold you to these dudes. Get your stuff, get your kids and everything, and go over here. We're going to put you on these ships, and you're going to go with these people because you belong to them now." And most of it, they just went along with that. So this is the reason why people like me, even though it sounds crazy, don't believe in just going along with the get along. When you never know what people are up to.
Rights are never taken by force. I feel like they'll convince you to give up your rights in different tricky ways, kind of.
How do you slaughter a cow? Do you tell the cow? Do you go to the cow and go, "Listen, you're gonna be in literally an hour. You're gonna be burger patties, son." That's
first thing,
no one does that. No one tells the cow that it's about to become like steaks.
I have to bring out the plastic gun right now. Okay, this is plastic. This is not real. This is not real.
Okay. Yes. This is for the.
Look at that, Brickell. Look how shiny that is.
Brickell, this is for the YouTube overlords because we're not supposed to handle guns during the show.
It's got bling. It's got.
Oh man, I was about to flash my gun too.
Yeah.
So
well, no, only if it's a toy. Only if it's a toy.
This is plastic.
Yeah, these are toys. Real. See, check it out. Look, this is a toy. These are toys. Look, I'll show you the sound. I got to do that because otherwise they'll delete the video. So.
This is how you do the cow. Hello, cow. Boom. All right, next.
Right. But isn't that what we're saying? Are we? Oh wait, hold on a second. Hold on, Barkal. Let me show.
This is my toy gun right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
What does it say? Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms.
Brothers in Arms. This was from Patches. You know Patches?
Maybe. I don't want to
Richard.
say. I probably met him, but.
He so Brothers in Arms, they gave this to him, and he gave me this cup. Okay. So cool. This is my.
It's Richard Hughes, he knows him.
Richard Hughes.
Oh, Richard Hughes. Why do you call him Patches?
Well, that's his, what is the word? That's his other name, kind of, that's his cool name.
Really?
Because he wears all those patches everywhere.
No, you're talking about Richard. Yeah, Richard Maunder.
Oh, yeah, Richard.
Oh, yeah, we had the last name.
Richard Hughes.
Yeah, Richard Maunder. I was about to say. I didn't know Richard Hughes was Patches.
It goes by Patches.
Yeah. Patrick says, so Babyface is saying that he may be down for a while because his internet dropped.
Oh, dear.
So I'm not sure if we'll get
See, that's the next thing that I'm worried about is that they quarantine us all, they do this, and then if they just shut the internet off completely, that's when things would really get, I think, really weird.
Yeah.
Really crazy.
And the point that I'm trying to make to you, Walter, which you made the point of what I'm trying to say, if you're going to slaughter an animal, you don't warn him. You don't go in there and wake him up in the middle of the night and scare the crap out of him and then slaughter him. You just very gently lead him into the pasture and then boom! That's it. He didn't even know. He didn't even know what happened to him, and that's
you might give him a little bit of grain first. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, cow. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah. That is what. Okay, and guess what? That little bit of grain, that's your Trump check. That's your Trump money. Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I
guess.
You never know. You're like, oh, I'm coming to get my Trump money. Okay, yes, sir. Just walk gently through that door.
Yeah, and you gotta put You gotta put a little microchip in your thumb before you get your Trump money, just so you don't lose the money, and we can, scan your finger when you go to the store.
Well, they can keep their Trump money then.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't need their Trump money.
Yeah. John Voorhees is saying to me, he says, the liberals never mention blacks who sold their own people into slavery. Usually, that's not just for black people. Most slavery, that's how it works. Most slavery, how it works, and everyone's been enslaved on the face of the planet. Every race has been enslaved, and that's mostly how it works. And when it happens to someone coming out of Russia right now, that young girl, they make her think, oh, you're going to America. It's a land of milk and honey, and money grows on the trees and everything. Just get on this thing. Next thing you know, by the time she winds up over here, she's enslaved to someone. This is how this kind of nonsense goes down. It's like, so I think a healthy amount of skepticism is always good. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm very skeptical.
Yeah.
I haven't lost my skepticism, but
Yeah. Now, listen, you get your Trump money, do what you got to do with your Trump money. I'm not saying.
Buy some mini bike parts.
Yeah.
I could.
They should put Trump's face on the Trump money.
Yeah. Frame it if you want. Get some gold jewelry.
Get some bling.
If you want some, get guns, get ammo. Not against that.
Just don't pay too much. Just don't pay inflated prices for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want butt implants or whatever?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't know if I don't think that's gonna be enough money.
What about Babyface's boobs? We're supposed to get him boobs, remember?
Oh no.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should all put our Trump money together so Patrick can get those boobs.
I think the boobs could be better utilized on another body.
Probably.
But he wants the big old
we will. I think we will get more mileage out of it.
I don't want any mileage on them boobs. I'm telling you, I don't want.
Put them on his back.
Yeah. First of all, it's not going to be. Listen, they're going to have to do many more stimulus packages. You know that, right? If we're going to go to the end of April, they're going to have to do more stimulus packages, and we're just manufacturing the money.
You can only go so long. You can't keep stimulus packaging. You can't do it. So eventually you're gonna. That's why they're trying to, keep people away from each other to get the curve to come back down.
Yeah.
And the death numbers, and then once that happens, things will.
Yeah. Check Your Six says, can we play with them? If Patrick gets boobs, I can't speak for him, but yes.
No, that ain't right. No.
That's
dude
so
boobs. No.
They want to play with man boobs.
No.
I know you would enjoy this, Raquel. You would enjoy the living crap out of this.
Not gonna do it like George Bush's father.
I would enjoy playing with man boobs.
No.
No.
That's not what I'm. Maybe. Hey, I don't know. To each his own. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you for whatever you're into. I mean, I understand.
JP Blue Rifle Society, in the chat says JP Blue Rifle Society says he's buying a very nice K98 with his Trump money. That's a Mauser, K98 Mauser.
What do those cost?
It depends on how nice it is.
Are those like $1,000 or?
They could easy, yeah. If it's, I've never paid that much for one, but
yeah.
Yeah, go out and support your local gun guy. Buy some guns, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
By the time that money comes through, we're all we'll be all 6 feet under. Yeah. If you listen to
Don't say that.
Such an optimist.
No,
yes.
I'm just messing around with everyone. I don't really think that there's anything, like, obviously there's something happening, but I don't think the solution is, obviously they're doing this to slow everything down and try to get ahead of this thing, but ultimately they can't stop it. So they're just trying to get ahead of it, and the problem that they're going to run into is human beings do not like this kind of containment. So we're really just not going to be able to go that far by telling people, hey, you can't.
Okay, so let me just throw a curve in that whole thing. There'll be the people who stay healthy, and there'll be the people who aren't healthy.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people that aren't healthy will expire by their own
I think there's already people passing, right? Or so.
I mean,
so we're being told. Either those people are passing, or the aliens are coming to get them. But
most of the people I would say that are dying now have pre-existing conditions. Mm-hmm. They smoke. They're diabetics. They're whatever you have.
Some old rock stars.
It's a when a 31-year-old dies of corona, it's not because he's got something else going on. Even he might not even know he's got something else going on, but there's something else going on because there's plenty of people who are surviving it just fine.
Yeah. So I know that you. So you said that obviously you've got 2 family members that have that, right, Walter?
Right.
Okay. Right. Have you communicated with them since I think Friday we were talking about that?
Yeah, we were texting. Yeah, my sister says she's just tired. She's getting through it.
Okay.
She doesn't smoke or do.
They're taking medications or whatever.
Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah, she didn't go to the hospital, so I don't know what she's doing. But my Peggy's brother went to the hospital, and then he was released. But then his girlfriend has it too because they live together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the hope is he was overseeing my mother-in-law before he got diagnosed. So hopefully she doesn't come up because 80-something-year-old women have a tendency to die when they get this stuff. You don't usually pull out of it. So, but she's showing no signs yet or anything. So.
Oh, okay.
And he's getting better. So.
That's good. That's good news. What about you, Brickell? Do you anyone that you know? I don't know if this is like really kicked off that much in Texas more than every other state.
I mean, there's some cases in Texas, like in Conroe and stuff. I think actually I heard on the news that I think that it was here, I believe, that one inmate got coronavirus, and now that they're possibly going to release like everyone in the jail.
If that one inmate has it, then the rest of them do, and you're just going to release them? That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and where do they release them to? Are they just going to be homeless, or are they going to go live with somebody they know, or
steal your stuff so they can have something?
Well, that's another good question. What about the homeless populations, like in California and LA? This is kind of growing there. Oh, what are they going to do?
Run rampant.
What are they going to do there?
I mean,
because if they put them in shelters, then it's a bunch of people together, right?
Well, they don't want to be in shelter. Yeah, it is the same thing. They don't.
A lot of the homeless, quote unquote, homeless people are a little cuckoo. Literally, not just me calling them cuckoo, but they have mental issues. Mm-hmm. So, and the last thing they want is to be forced into a situation they don't want to be in.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why they're living the way that they are. It's just better to just leave them.
Yeah, but once again, you create a breeding ground for the virus, and then the pooping in the street and the peeing in the street and everything else, and da.
So then, what do you think they should do? What do you think they should do? Just tranquilize everyone, and then.
Well, I don't have an answer for you. They should have done something before this all started.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that they're there is because they let them be there. They're not there because they have the power. They don't have any power at all. They park their ass and that's where they sit. Because nobody's pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, underneath the bridges and the overpasses and on the streets in these Democratic-run towns primarily, because they think that they're helping them or something by just letting them do their own thing.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the city suffers and the businesses suffer and the people who live in the city suffers.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's if it's public property, then you can't really do anything because it's public property, right? So you can't force someone to not be on a certain.
Well, they have laws. All these cities.
There's vagrancy laws.
All these laws have vagrancy laws and trespassing laws and all this stuff already in place. They've been there for years.
It's not politically expedient to deal with it. The way that they've been dealing with a lot of this stuff is by shipping people out. So California has been shipping people to New York. New York has been shipping people to Florida. Florida ships them back to California.
That's not the way to fix it.
Yeah, no one wants to fix anything.
The nutty people have to be fixed, taken care of. Put someplace. The people who are able-bodied need to be either put to work or something. You can't let people just. I know there's this laissez-faire, don't mess with them, but there comes a time when you have to be the bad guy. In society, you can't let people do whatever they want and then hurt you, or steal your stuff because you're just trying to let them be whatever they want to be. You have You gotta.
But
If I steal your stuff, I get in trouble. But if the homeless person, oh, that poor guy, he just.
well, no, if the homeless guy steals my stuff,
Yeah, I look at it
You
all the
cap
same.
You should put him out of his misery, just like you'd put me out of my misery, right? if you could catch me stealing your stuff, or doing something bad to you, you'd shoot me.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. So.
Yeah, I mean, the homeless situation is there because they've let it happen. That's why it's there. It wasn't like that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, was it? No.
We've always had homeless situations. It's getting worse because there's
They let it.
there's a bunch of
They let
different
them.
there's a bunch of different things happening, and we're getting a perfect storm of people who don't want to have any kind of responsibilities, right? And who want to be like off the grid, but not really off the grid. Because we're not saying like, I'm not talking about people who want to be off the grid and they'll go into the woods or somewhere
And they're
in California or go into
responsible.
the mountains or whatever. People who want to be off the grid, like I want to live in LA, but I don't want to pay rent. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And then if I do have money or whatever, I want to, be high or whatever it is. And it's kind of a situation that's just grown out of proportions. And anything that you do now, you're the bad guy. So, right?
They let it go out of proportion.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Brickell? I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Oh.
Well, I think I was going to say something like, in my opinion, I don't know, people make their decisions and people make choices, and it might be a good choice, might be a bad choice, but at the end of the day, I kind of believe that if there's no victim, then there's really no crime. Like if you're doing something and it affects only you and solely you, nobody else, that's kind of between you and yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're affecting other people, obviously that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think the problem situation that we're dealing with here, right, is if people decide to squat in a city somewhere. So let's just say they choose New York City, they choose LA, they choose someplace in Miami or whatever, and they're like, hey, we're just going to squat right here. Like here in Gainesville, they're doing that literally outside the airport. They're like, yeah, we claim this land. We're just going to do what we want to do.
To claim.
We're just going to do what we want to do right here. It eventually becomes this situation of what are you going to do when people go, yeah, we're just going to sit down right here and do whatever we want to do.
You physically remove them.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, you can't just let. We're going to go around this.
No, I don't think. I'm not arguing with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. You can't. That's this whole thing of like, I don't want to be the bad guy, or, well, somebody's got to be the bad guy. It's not a bad guy. You're looking out.
Yeah. No one wants to be the bad guy, but the question that we have to ask is, are you going to participate in society? So if you decide that you're not going to participate in society, but you're going to benefit from it, at some point the society has to ostracize you and go,
at some point,
you got to go about your business.
At some point you will be given a choice. You can participate, and we'll give you ways you can participate. If you choose not to participate, then you're going to go someplace and you're going to work to pay your debt.
I guess my question though, I have a question though, like, like homeless people, for example, when you mean like they're taking but not giving back, what do you mean? Like they're taking tax money or they're, what do you mean?
You got to clean up after them. They're pooping in the street. They get sick. They have medical care. There's the thing about the poor old homeless stealing stuff, which they do, by the way. All that costs money, just like
basically
immigrants.
in LA, the situation from what I read and in other places where this is happening, these people basically they're claiming sovereignty over wherever they're at. So anyone that goes through there, they can rob them, do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. It's like a Muslim setting up in a neighborhood and then they call it Sharia law. Okay, that's not the way it works. Sorry. It just doesn't the way it works. So if I walk down the street where you've decided to park your ass and poop, it isn't your part of the street. I don't have to pay a tax to walk.
I think ultimately the whole contract of society, right, of civilization, is that we all have to abide by some rules, even though we may not necessarily like it. We have to abide. If we don't abide, you're going to have a tipping point of, okay, first only 10% of the people are doing this, then 20, then 50, then 75% of the people, because everyone's like, well, I'm not going to pay taxes and go to work and clean up after myself if these guys aren't going to do it. So where's the contract? Either the contract dissolves and no one does it, or someone has to enforce the contract.
Somebody will, let me tell you what will happen. Someone will come along that says, I'll fix it for you. And they'll fix it. You're not going to like the fix. The people who want the fix will like it, but the people on the other end won't like the fix. The fix won't be pretty. But it can be fixed. Everything can be fixed, but it could be a little harsh. I mean, it
this
could be
is
very
probably
harsh.
how. I mean, I've never watched any. Have you watched any of those Purge movies, Raquel?
No.
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Yeah.
It's been a while, but I've seen some of them.
Yeah. Why in the Purge movies did they start the Purge?
I think it's because because crime, by doing the Purge, it made crime go down because people had that one day where they could go and get their vengeance with whoever, like if they had vengeance with someone, they're mad, and it decreased the population, so crime went down, and they also were killing homeless people too. Like homeless people were like big targets because they just saw them as vagrant bums and just wanted to kill them. Yeah.
I think that if we shouldn't, I don't believe in the Purge or anything like that. Ultimately, you have to do something though, right? Otherwise, you wind up with this big, massive problem that either it takes you over. It's like cancer. If you have cancer, at some point you got to cut that part of your body out, or cut that thing out, or you cut out a part of your body, or you die because it just goes rampant and takes over everything. So this is the tough situation that we're getting into, understandably, because there's just people who are like, forget it, I'm going to live like this, which is fine. If you go off in the mountains or you go anywhere else, and you decide you want to live like that. But it's the contract that we have with society when we live with each other, and we go, I am not going to I'm not going to walk down the street and see you driving a car I like and knock you upside the head and take your car, because, this is the contract that we have. We have to respect each other's property, possessions.
The person who goes off in the woods and lives by himself is not a burden. Period.
Well, I'm sure there's some homeless people that just live in a tent and don't rob people or mess with people, but I'm sure there are homeless people that rob people and mess with people. But also, it kind of goes down to like who's allowed to claim land. Who's the one that just says like, oh, this, like if that person goes out in the forest or whatever, can the government now show up and say, actually, we want to build something on this land. You got to go. We own this land now. Who's the all-seeing? Who's the ruler of? I mean, it's
That's not legal. What is legal? What isn't legal?
Yeah.
But I underneath an overpass is not yours to claim. Sorry. I mean, I'm all for land stuff, freedom, and all that junk. But someone's got to step up and be the bad guy. And
because, like, for example, if you go and you are like protesting, like you're holding a sign and you're standing under that bridge, and they tell you, oh, we own this bridge, you got to go. So does that mean we don't really have freedom of speech now?
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. There's never a simple answer. There's never a simple answer to this stuff. It's just like, we have to decide where everything's at. I think there's lots of people in some of these places in San Francisco and a lot of places where, because the people who have been elected have just made it too expensive to live. You have people who are trying to work and pay their bills and everything, and they can't afford to, and they wind up homeless or living out of their car or living out of an RV or whatever it is, and those people are still working and trying to do things and get out of that situation. And then there's what we're talking about, I think, here is like a super extreme of the people who just say, forget that, I'm just going to completely live off of everyone, and I'm not going to try to do anything. I think there's differences here. Ultimately, that person who's living in San Francisco and working 2-3 jobs and still can't pay for everything, they need to come to a conclusion of, hey, get the hell out of San Francisco, because
right.
You can blame
that on the politics of San Francisco.
Yeah, you could go live somewhere else where it's not so expensive, and then you'll be able to live in a home and you don't have to work so hard and you can pay for your things. But versus someone else who's just like, hey, I'm just going to squat here, and I'm just going to do whatever I want, pee wherever I want to, poop whatever I want to, and do all these things. I think that's where it becomes a problem. And at some point, we've got to balance it out, even though there's not a simple there's not a simple, easy answer to that. You know.
And on that note, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. It is. We're never gonna solve it. We're never gonna solve it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it solves itself. Maybe that's why someone invented the virus. Who knows?
Maybe there'll be an earthquake or something.
Yeah. Maybe that's why someone put that thing out there. You know.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, I don't know, the virus might do. Well, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might kill us all.
Yeah.
Well, it might.
You know, and then that'll just make way, you know, it'll be a beautiful utopia of plants and animals that survive after us. And
then they all start killing
Or maybe the dinosaurs come back.
Yeah.
Or something.
Someone will become sentient, and then a million years from now we'll be right back here having a different virus in the same conversation. Who knows? That could have happened 1,000 times already. Huh?
It'll be the Michelob Ultra virus.
Yes.
Michelob Ultra.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Coors Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's okay, listen, we've gone a little bit over time. We could talk about this forever. But it's a good conversation. It's good to see you again, Brownells. We got to get you here on
you too.
We got to get you on the show a little bit more. We definitely have to help you promote the album when it comes out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell the folks out here what they can do. First of all, I know there are people asking about your YouTube channel, and there's some people trying to ask you questions. So how can those folks communicate with you directly? How can they get up on all the different things you're going to do?
So you can follow me on YouTube at American Gun Chick, and you can go subscribe there and then hit the bell, and it'll notify you all my videos and everything. And you can also go to AmericanGunChick.com. And on there you can there's a section where you can leave your email, and then you get notifications of a bunch of stuff, because in case YouTube crashes or does their trickery or whatever. So you can leave your email. You can also go to patreon.com, and $1 a month you can sign up. And I do like daily videos talking about my life, and you pretty much get the first-hand scoop on everything that's going on in my life, and, you know, message me there or whatever. I'm also on Twitter, I'm on Instagram and Facebook as American Gun Chick, so check all those out. And yeah, it's pretty easy to get a hold of me.
Okay. What do you call the folks who support you on Patreon? Are they like chickadees?
Chickadees?
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
they
Some
should be
people
not.
have a thing for that. I don't know. I was just curious. If you have like a thing that you call your supporters, you know. Like I call my people who rock with me, I call them strangerholics. You know, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like some of the women, I call them future honey badgers. You know,
okay.
Like the girls that have taken my classes. But
Right.
no, I don't know. I should come up with something though.
Yeah.
But I just call them guys. Like, hey guys.
Yeah. Chickadees. Or you can call them strangerholics. You could use that. You can use that if you want. Yeah. Just call them
Or
strangerholics.
I could call them gun chicks. Like, hey,
Yeah.
gun chicks.
Yeah.
But no dudes would want to come on.
I don't know. It's guys out there that won't mind. They won't mind. Walter, how can the folks keep up with you? Keep up with all your shenanigans?
Yeah.
Your mini bike craziness that's going on?
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, Safe Terror Firearms. The Dirtfoot Racing's on YouTube and on Instagram. Been posting mostly on Instagram lately with Dirtfoot Racing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's safeterrorfirearms.com. There's stenparts.com. Appliance Death, or Mower Death, excuse me, not Appliance Death. That was the name I almost picked for that website,
Mm-hmm.
or the YouTube channel. I almost did Appliance Death, but since we shot running lawnmowers, it seemed better to call it Mower Death. But,
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's how you can keep up with me. So stay tuned.
All right, very cool, very cool. I just want to thank American Gun Chick. There she goes for coming on the show. We appreciate
And
that.
Roy.
Thanks for having me.
I know she's out there working hard, as well as Walter Keller. He's also working hard.
Roy.
Yes, and Roy from Brownells, and Babyface P, who lost his internet with his super awesome internet that he's always telling me how awesome his internet is. Okay, I'm just teasing him right now. I want to thank everyone for coming on. I want to thank Walther for sponsoring the show here. We appreciate them. Also want to recommend everyone go to hankstrange.com. That's how you find out, just like Raquel was saying here, that's how you find out all the different platforms we're on. You can find out how to support us. Lola throws up Lola's deals, daily deals, and things like that on there. You can find out about our merch, etc. Sign up for our email list. We're giving away tons of stuff right now. We have a giveaway going on with Andrew's Custom Leather. We're giving away a holster. We've got some other cool things that we're giving away through the email list. I'm going to drop the end on everyone right now. Boom. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight, hanging out with us. You can find us on audio on like iTunes and Podbean and all the places you listen to audio. Make sure you go follow Brickell. Make sure you follow Walter and Roy and Babyface P. We're out of here. Final words.
Buy some food from your local restaurant to go, man. Keep them going.
Subscribe.
Yeah, John Crump was saying that the COVID virus travels on the to-go boxes.
It could, yes, but you only live once, right?
Yeah, so then you might as well go to church. Okay, no, I don't want to start this all over again. Okay.
No.
We're out of here. Peace.
See ya.